Okay, today we have an issue with a Dell Inspiron 15. It's a Inspiron 15 5000 series. This particular model is a 5552. Um, and if you ever need to look up your specs on a Dell, you can always go to their website and click on support and then look for service tag, where you would enter a service tag. They're always on the bottom on stickers. And if your computer is bootable, you go into your BIOS, it'll list it there as well. But it tells you a little bit about it. So with this problem, this particular laptop, push the power button, you get the power light, then it goes off. You can still hear the fan going, and then the light comes on, then it goes off, and it does kind of some strange things like this. And you wait, and eventually you hear something. It takes about 30 seconds in this case, and you'll hear beeps. The good thing about these beeps is it's Dell's way of trying to tell you what's wrong with it. I believe something like that would be in the BIOS, maybe like some sort of troubleshooting function. So we'll just sit and wait, and then we'll count the beeps. Seven beeps. Seven beeps. Seven beeps. So it's repeating 7 beeps. The backlight goes on, but nothing else happens. Meaning it's getting power to the screen. Something's happening. So it's doing something. Now, if you look it up, what that 7 beeps tells you is that there's a CPU error. Now, there can be different ways to fix this, and I should probably put next to that, in quotations, fix or temporarily fix, because this kind of thing is not really designed to be a long-term fix, although I've seen it myself where I've done this and it's worked for years and still works. Some laptops, I would suppose, but sometimes it works for a week or a month or something. It's indicative of a larger issue, but again, it's a fix nonetheless. And if you have one of those budget machines that has the storage built in to the board, or you have pretty much the entire computer on one board, I believe they call that SOE, something like system. Basically, the entire system is in one chip kind of thing. Anyway, so we're going to take this apart, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do and see if this particular procedure will work. Okay, stand by. Okay, I actually went to my other bench to take this apart, and as you can see, it's an extremely simple board. I also looked up that term. It's SoC, which means system on chip. You won't see many of the usual suspects as far as chips on here. As far as you don't see a video chip. You don't see certain controllers, Southbridge, Northbridge chips that you would normally see. All you really see are MOSFETs and small ICs that do things like power supply right here, that handle power to the CPU and all of its functions. Other things, like this is likely the chips that run the wireless, and then you've got more coils down here, a couple of capacitors, virtually nothing to this board, which is why it's only $22 online. So you may not find many fixes on this. However, it's worth it to give it a shot. I mean, if this doesn't work, I'll pop over to eBay, spend, $30 and get a board sent over, done deal. Okay? But proof of concept. This is from a a repair point of view. This is good to see, good to learn. Now, you might have noticed a couple videos back where it shows that I repaired, I use air quotes with that, repaired a board or something with a heat gun and aluminum foil. Well, this is the same exact concept. We're going to do that. We're going to reflow this chip right here. Okay. And in doing that, hopefully, if there's an issue underneath this chip, then hopefully we're going to see some sort of a semblance of repair. To get this thing to boot up. Now, if it works, cool. I still might get another board, but again, just really proof of concept. Looking at the actual temperature, 450 degrees-ish. 400 degrees, that's kind of where you want to be, 425. That's a good place to be as far as getting this melted but not frying it. So I'm actually going to bring my temperature up on my hot air station to 425, and then it will give us a little time. I lift it up because that way we're not going to absorb, we're not going to let anything else absorb the heat but the board itself. So that should have better results than if it was on here or on this metal. Then these two things could burn. This could basically suck up some heat. We want all the heat to go into that chip. Okay, so I'm going to use my handy dandy template here that I created years ago, and it can be bent in ways to best shield everything else but form a really nice boundary around that chip. Okay, here we go. Tell you what, this hot air station, absolutely worth the money. All right, 425. I put a little flux on there, even though we're not really going below the chip, but if any of this flux manages to get below the chip, it might help underneath to get this solder flowing and possibly get this working. Now I should show you this. There are larger ends for this, and this one almost fits the whole chip, but I've already actually started this, and so this is quite hot. I'm not going to take it off now. Just going to keep going with this, getting some smoke happening around it. I don't think it's coming from the bench. I think maybe it's just the flux burning off or just the heat. I'm going to give this about maybe 15 to 20 more seconds. You want to make sure that we're not underdoing it. And with this thing set at 425, I mean, it's not going to go up to 800 degrees Celsius and fry it and melt everything. So we'll give it another couple seconds here. All right, that should do it. Okay, so now the plan is going to be to let this sit here and cool off. Good, we didn't hurt the bench. We're going to let this cool off, and then we will put it together just enough to try to start it up and see how it does. Going to give this about 10 minutes to cool off. Okay, I have giving it a few minutes to cool off. I'm going to go ahead and put it together enough to try to start it up. There's the RAM. Whenever I do a job like this, I always clean the processor and I clean the back of the fan, so that way when we put it back together, we have a little bit of a little bit of a clean thing going on, and it runs cool in case we're just putting it back together. Like I say, this is a cheap board, don't really care so much, but it's just good practice to have. Another reason I am putting the fan back on, just to test it, so I can actually hear something happening. The fan's a good indicator of what the computer's doing, when it's turning, when it ramps up, things like that. Alright, so just a few seconds, we'll see if this worked. Now if you go back and watch my video where I kind of made a bit of a tongue-in-cheek kind of like humor thing out of reflowing, you'll know about the, I don't know, 9 or whatever HPs that I got back in the day, and I was able to fix most of them, and several lasted, I guess, forever, or until they, were just obsolete. But they lasted quite a while, which was pretty cool. So my point on that is that this is not designed to be a forever fix, but who's to say that it isn't? It might just last for quite a while. I have to redo this. Like I say, let me do it this way. It might work. I mean, this is not a hot board. I mean, this thing's not running super hot. But apparently, if this works, apparently it was running hot at some point. Alright. Alright. There we go. Had to get the plug underneath and on top at the same time, which can be tricky. Alright, we got the essentials. We have the fan hooked up. We have the RAM. Just for the hell of it, I'm putting some of the things down here in so I don't have to do it later. For instance, the wireless card. And we're going to know in just a moment. Alright, we got the power jack. We got the video. We're going to flip it over and have the power button plugged in. That's pretty much all we need. Power button's over here, and make sure we get the right ribbon cable. Yeah, it's the one that comes through right here. Alright, so it's this one. And I guess a good indication is the fact that it freaking says power right there. Alright. Alright, we're going to plug that in. Flip the connector down. We're ready. Alright, so here we go. This is the magic moment here. So, we were getting the beeps. Now let's see what happens. So far, nothing. There we go. Alright, fan's turning. See if we get a Dell logo really quick. That would be nice. If we get the 7 beeps, that simply means that the CPU is beyond repair. Sometimes when you connect total power, including BIOS, it does RAM tracing and a few other things, which will keep it on the black screen for quite some time. HPs are really good about that, and then you wait forever, it seems, and then it comes back with the CMOS battery has been reset, time and date, and all of this. But this light here is not going off, which is interesting. It did before. So something has changed. We'll just sit here and wait and see what happens. See if we get a beep or not. Okay, so we're getting nothing, and we're also not getting anything on the screen, like a backlight or anything. So we may have caused further damage, which is not out of the ordinary. So I'm going to turn it off. Just double check a couple of things. Now it's doing something a little different. It just restarted, and look at this. There we go. I can't go and do anything because nothing's plugged in. So after that first RAM tracing, now it's connected. It looks like it's working perfect. I'm going to turn this off, plug in my touchpad so at least I can click on something. Okay, like I say, when you unplug power and the BIOS battery and things, sometimes you can get issues where it sits on a black screen for a little bit. All right, so let's go to, you know what, why don't we, the touchpad's acting funny. Trying to get to the diagnostics button. I don't know what's up with this touchpad, if there's something wrong with it. Is this a touch screen? No. Trying to get down here to... Let me turn this off, plug the keyboard in. That will work. Okay, I think that's in. Okay, power once again. So what I was going to do is, just for the heck of it, I will go to diagnostics. Of course, we're going to get a bunch of errors like the battery not being attached, things like that. Hard drive not installed. Webcam testing. Alright, so the only issue that it came up with, failing component, is the battery not installed. Alright, so guys, it looks like we have a working machine. Now, is this worth doing? Well, yeah, sure it is. It's worth it to me to learn and to show you guys how this can be done. It's also worth it because it's a $22 board. I mean, no big deal. I mean, if the board shits the bed in a week, okay, no problem. But if this was a customer's computer with everything on board, like that SOE system or SoC system on chip, and if it had the actual storage on the motherboard, this is a way to get the stuff off that. This is the way to do data recovery, because like good example is the Mac. I mean, the new Macs, everything's on board. It's by design, I think, personally. But anyway, so that's that. So I'm going to get this put back together. I'm going to order a brand new SSD for this, as I am out currently. And that shows you how this works. I really hope you liked the video, and appreciate your support and all that good stuff. And if you would like to subscribe, that would be great. Lately, I've been a little bit obsessed. I've been putting out videos almost every day, trying to get a good library of content. So you can click like and subscribe for other things coming up. I've got another video coming out as of recording this, coming out in a couple of hours. I'll probably have this video come out the following day, so this will probably come out on the 18th. And then we'll do on the 19th, maybe we'll do another video on e-waste to eBay, which is proving to be a pretty popular thing. Okay, well, enough of that. You guys have a good day, and like and subscribe, and thank you for your support. We'll see you.